So we just went through a bunch of stories about how Biden doesn't even have to be a half-decent candidate, and he's still up in the polls because Trump is colossally botching the COVID response, and there's a new depression happening, and there's all these problems, so Biden doesn't have to do anything, and he's winning big right now. And then you have the Democratic coalition people pushing for Biden, literally arguing, it's not about policy. Like, we don't care about that. It's not about that. You have Wall Street saying, we're kind of comfortable if Biden wins. That's totally fine. So all those are red flags. However, there is one issue where now Biden is not running a lackluster campaign. There's an issue here where he outflanked Trump on the left, and this is going to work. Like, this is politically astute. This move right here, whoever Joe Biden's advisors are that told him about this one, spot on. Spot on. And I'm here to call balls and strikes. And let me tell you something. If there's more of this that happens, Biden will win in a giant landslide. So, look at this from CNBC. Joe Biden proposes a $700 billion plus Buy American campaign. Democratic candidate Joe Biden is proposing sweeping new uses of the federal government's regulatory and spending power to bolster U.S. manufacturing and technology firms. Biden calls for a $400 billion four-year increase in government purchasing of U.S.-based goods and services, plus $300 billion in new research and development in U.S. technology concerns. Biden is proposing tightening current Buy American laws that are intended to benefit U.S. firms but can be easily circumvented by government agencies. Okay, so let's pause. This is literally one of the things I was screaming that Joe Biden can and should do. Like, we get it. We've heard him say it a million times. He ain't going to bend on Medicare for all. I hate it. I despise it. I'm angry over it. I'm not going to get over it. But having said that, there were other issues where I said, hey, you haven't committed to being objectively shitty on this, so maybe you could take a stand on this. In fact, when I was begging Bernie Sanders, you want to get people like me to vote for Biden? Go to Biden, say I have a list of 10 executive orders. If you promise to sign these in the first 100 days, I will fight like hell to get you elected. If you don't promise to sign them, good luck in November. I'm out. I'm not going to campaign for you. Now, Bernie would never do that because he needs a spine and he needs to be willing to take even more crap from the media telling him he's pro-Trump if he just walks away from campaigning for Biden. But that's what Bernie needed to do, because my guess is Joe Biden would have either said, okay, I'll do those 10 executive orders. They don't have to be, could be areas where Biden has potential, right? They don't have to be the things, hey, I know you said you're not going to do this, but now I want you to do this. No, you could find areas where he could be good. I bet Biden would either have signed on to that, or he would have said, Bernie, I can't do these 5, but I'll do these 5 for you. So, you have my word on that. And then we have tangibles. We have, we know as a matter of fact, he's going to sign this within the first 100 days. And here are the awesome executive orders. And I told you guys, one of the things that should be on that list is the Buy American executive order. Why did I say that? Donald Trump, when he was campaigning, spoke about Buy America, Buy America, Buy America. And there's a current law on the books right now that, the federal government needs to buy America. So all the goods that the federal government needs to buy, and they need to buy a lot, by the way. They're giant. They need to buy America, but there's a loophole. The loophole is Buy America doesn't just mean Buy America. It means us and all of our allies. So in other words, we could theoretically buy a bunch of goods from Israel, buy a bunch of goods from even China. Because we have a lot of trading going on with them, even though, we have a standoffish relationship. That's still technically considered Buy American. So Trump could have signed this executive order, which made it so that, no. When we say Buy American for the federal government, we mean it. We mean actually within the borders of the United States of America. If he did that, manufacturing here would have shot up. Now, it didn't. Trump pretends like manufacturing is up. It's not. There's been a net outsourcing of jobs under Trump. Manufacturing is getting obliterated. But if he signed that, that would have really helped with manufacturing in this country. So, Trump said he was going to sign that. He abandoned it. And instead he did a symbolic Buy America week. where, he had this like showcase at the White House. Look at all these amazing products that are made in the United States. See, here are the different factories. Here are the different executives. Buying American is awesome. So it's window dressing. He's not actually changing anything. He's keeping things exactly the same, but he's pretending, he's mimicking populism and fighting for the working class. So now Biden comes along and he goes, how about I actually sign that executive order? That's what I'm proposing. I'm going to actually sign that Buy American executive order. Spot on. This is such a wonderful strategy. Now, you know what happens when you outflank the Republicans? You know what happens when you run a good strategy? Well, we know. Let me show you, because Trump saw this news. There were reports that behind the scenes he was flipping out, yelling at his staff. He was losing it when he learned that Biden's going to do this. And then he was asked about it by the media. Here's his response.
He plagiarized from me, but he can never pull it off. He likes plagiarizing. It's a plan that is very radical left, but he said the right things because he's copying what I've done. But the difference is he can't do it. And he knows he's not doing that. It can't be the same because he's raising taxes way too much. He's raising everybody's taxes. He's also putting tremendous amounts of regulations back on. And those two things are two primary reasons that I created the greatest economy we've ever had. And now we're creating it again, okay?
So that was Trump's brain short-circuiting. Try to follow the logic there. He goes, but he's plagiarizing this from me. And then he goes on to say, he's plagiarizing this from me. Now this plan is very radical left. Wait. Which is it? Is he plagiarizing from you and is the plan good? Or is the plan very radical left? So he's trying to say, the plan is good and he's plagiarizing it from me, but also no, the plan is bad and it's very radical left. That makes no sense. Unless you're admitting you were for a very radical left plan. See, this is what happens. Do you think Trump is some sort of genius? No, he's pure instinct and impulse. And there were some instincts and impulses back in 2016 that were powerful. Hitting Hillary on corruption, hitting Hillary on the Iraq war. Like, those were things that are bread and butter issues that landed. So now he's going all in on the statues and the culture war. He was just outflanked by Biden. Biden is doing to Trump what Trump did to Hillary back in 2016, and his brain is short-circuiting. Biden loves plagiarizing. By the way, that's true. He actually plagiarized, and he dropped out of the race in the 1980s. He was running for president in the 1980s. He dropped out because he was caught plagiarizing and just lying 1,000 times. That's totally true. But people don't really remember that, and he didn't really explain it well there. But he says, Biden plagiarized. He plagiarized from me. It's not good. And also this plan is very radical left. It's not good. And then he goes on to say, and also, I mean, if you really think about it, he's raising taxes and he's raising regulations. Nobody is voting on regulations. Like, there's this, in the right-wing bubble, the Fox News bubble, they think that, like, if you bring up regulations, everybody agrees across the board that's just bad. And it's like, well, no, because regulations include clean air regulations, clean water regulations, regulations on Wall Street to stop them from ripping us off. So those regulations are very good. So they don't, see, he doesn't know how to respond, so he goes right back to the standard conservative talking points, and the standard conservative talking points are horrendous. He's going to raise taxes. Fox News just hit him the other day, or was it Fox Business? We covered it on the show. They're making fun of Biden for saying he wants to raise corporate taxes. Corporate taxes. They did a segment, like, mocking him over it. I'm watching it going, by all means, go right ahead. Now, I see why Biden's up big in the polls, because this is the stuff that you guys are talking about. You're hitting him on his strength. That's a strength. Biden wanting to raise corporate taxes is good. That's a good thing. And they're hitting him on it, as if, like, everybody's going to agree, sitting at home watching, yeah, man, I really wish the corporations were paying less in taxes. Nobody's saying that. No regular person's saying that. So, see what happens? Trump immediately contradicted himself. Oh, Biden plagiarized me, but also the plan is very radical left. So it's a good plan that I was for, but no, it's a bad plan because he's doing it now and it's very far left. And then he goes right back to the standard conservative talking points, something, regulation and raising taxes. That's not going to land. And now you see why Biden is up massively. Not necessarily because of anything he's doing, although this is one good thing he's doing in terms of strategy, but because Trump is a mess now. Trump's a mess. We have an economic depression happening, over 20% real unemployment. We have a depression ripping through the country. He's not doing Dickie McGee's acts about that. And he's out there talking about statues and how Biden is Antifa. And then now he gets outflanked by Biden on one really important issue, and he melts. He melts. This is him falling apart in front of our eyes. So this is one good area. I'll give credit where it's due. There's one area where Biden actually did the right thing. I'm telling you, if he does more of the correct strategy, this election could be a historic blowout. Historic.